What is CES? What are the two types of CES? What is visa screen? What's the difference between visa screen and CES? When do you need the CES? When do you not need the CES? All this and more in today's episode of Pinoy Nurse Portal. Welcome, this is your nurse, Rebecca. I know you clicked this video because, like me, you are a foreign educated nurse who wish to work in the USA as a USRN. Well, welcome to the first step. So on today's vlog, let's start by discussing what CES stands for. CES stands for Credential Evaluation Service, and you can apply through Cgfns. Go to their website, link is down below, okay? So now that you know what CES stands for, let's ask the question, who needs a CES? But before we answer the who, let me just tell you that there are two types of CES report. The first one is the professional CES report. The second one is the academic CES report. So Nurse Rebecca, which one do I need? Well, it depends on what you need. If you are a professional, if you are an RN who wish to advance or further her education in the United States, you will need the academic CES report. But if you are a nurse who wish to work in the USA as a USRN, you will need the CES professional report. Not because I told you that the CES professional report is what you need to secure a job in the USA, is exactly what you need. Let me just read this advisory from the Cgfns website. Let me read this to you verbatim. Cgfns is suggesting you contact the State Board of Nursing, employer or college/university receiving your CES report, and ask which type of report they require. Meaning to say, you really have to be sure what type of CES report you will need, okay? Not because this is what I said and not because this is what Cgfns said. You still have to clarify with the school you're going to, the employer, and the Board of Nursing you are applying to, with an exception to New York State, okay? Which we will discuss later on. Next question, who needs the CES or Credential Evaluation Services professional report? You as a nurse will need the CES professional report primarily to get a license. That's why you need the CES report in applying for your NCLEX. Because most states require a CES report, exhibit number 1, and I pulled this out of the Arizona State Board of Nursing. Look at here, I highlighted it in yellow. Nakita niyo dyan? They need a CES report. Exhibit number 2, and this is from Nevada State Board of Nursing. These are two of the user-friendly websites. Some of them are so hard to navigate. That's why I only pulled 2. This is from Arizona and Nevada. So as you can see, Nevada also needs a CES report before you could apply for your NCLEX. Next question, why is CES important and why do you need it? Because in obtaining a CES report, it means that your nursing degree/education is comparable to that of the USA standard. They just want to make sure that your education is at par to the US standard. Because basically, the function of Cgfns is to evaluate, validate, and authenticate all your credentials. Okay, next question. I want to apply my NCLEX through New York State Board of Nursing. I told you earlier that you need CES in most of the states in the USA, and take note there are 50 of them, but one exception of New York State, because if you apply for your NCLEX through New York State, you will need the CVS instead of the CES. So what's the difference? There's really not much of the difference aside from the fee and what it stands for. CES stands for Credential Evaluation Service, and it will cost you $420 to get a professional CES report. However, with CVS, it stands for Credential Verification Service. You can also get this through Cgfns only if you're applying for your NCLEX through NY State or New York State, okay? And it will cost you a little cheaper than the CES, and I don't know why. It will cost you $385 as we speak. Next question, what are the requirements in getting your CES and CVS for CVS New York? They're kind of like the same, okay? You will need your high school diploma, which has to be translated in English. You need your college diploma, also translated in English. You will need your nursing license in the Philippines. It will be your PRC license. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mo na pumasa ng licensure exam. So if you're not from the Philippines, you have to have your nursing board of license, the equivalent of our PRC in the Philippines, and of course your transcript of records. If you watch my previous vlog, which is this one, I have a more detailed discussion about visa screen. Okay, I will link it in the description down below. Okay, next question. When do you not need CES? I think if you're listening to this vlog, you kind of know the answer already. If you're applying for your license through New York State, you don't need a CES, you need the CVS instead. Okay, maliwanag. Now next, let's talk about visa screen briefly. I have a more detailed discussion about visa screen. Like I said, it will be linked in the description down below. But according to Cgfns, visa screen is an assessment of visa credentials for foreign healthcare employees who wish to work in the United States. Okay, listening to that, it's really confusing because CES kind of like sound like that, all right? Don't worry, because as we go along, mas maliliwanagan kayo, okay? We will answer that question later on. I know it's really confusing, but your next question might be, who needs a visa screen? Let's say you're a doctor and you wish to come over here to the USA. Will you need a visa screen? Let's say you're a dentist or an electrical engineer. Do you need a visa screen to work in the United States? The answer is no. Because there are only 9 professions that need visa screen through Cgfns before they can work as a professional in the USA. And these are number 1, nurses, registered nurses like you and me. Number 2, licensed practical nurse or licensed vocational nurses. Number 3, physical therapist. Number 4, occupational therapist. Number 5, speech or language pathologist. Number 6, audiologist. Number 7, clinical lab technicians. Number 8, physician assistants. Number 9, clinical laboratory scientist / medical technologist. Next question, what are the requirements in getting a visa screen? That's why it gets so confusing, because the requirements for CES and CVS is kind of like the same with a visa screen. You need your high school diploma, college diploma, you need your license in your country, and you need your transcript of records, okay? The difference though is that for visa screen, you need an English qualifying exam. You now need your NCLEX and or your Cgfns qualifying exam, because this time the visa screen, you need to present this, okay, during your interview for your visa. Okay, so malapit ka na. It means you are close to coming over here. You need now to present your visa screen to the consul doon sa US Embassy for your interview. Okay, whereas with CES, you are not there yet. You are just on the first step. You are just applying for an NCLEX. Or if you need the academic CES, it means you are to further your education in the USA. So that's the main difference between CES and visa screen. The visa screen, you need that to apply for a visa. That's why it's called visa screen. The CES, you need that, okay, in applying for your NCLEX or applying to a university or school in the USA. And there you have it, guys. I hope you learned something in today's episode of Pinoy Nurse Portal. Nako, alas 12 na. Do you know what time it is now in Arizona? It's past midnight and you have not subscribed to my channel yet. Ang kapal ng mukha nyo, ha? Mag-subscribe kayo sa channel ko. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like this video. And please leave a comment down below if you want me to discuss something else, okay? Or kung may natutunan kayo, please share this video to your nurse friends na gustong pumunta sa USA. Happy holidays and I'll see you on our next vlog. Oh my God, alas 12 na, hindi pa kayo nagsusubscribe. And, wait lang.